Singling out mana is it's interesting. And actually, the Buddha transitioning from onions to flowers. The Buddha, actually, there's a brilliant sutta which illustrates something I think very similar to what you're talking about. And it's a monk named Venerable Khemaka who's on his deathbed. And these monks ask, do you identify with any of these five aggregates, form, feeling, perception, mental formations, consciousness? And he says no. And then they say, are you enlightened? And he says no. And they say, how is that? If you don't identify, basically he's given up Sakkaya Ditthi, self-view, the first one of the fetters, that stream entry that you give up, which is explicit identification with the aggregates of identity. But he says, just as one could look at a flower and smell the flower, but wouldn't be able to say the scent of that flower comes from the stamen or the petals or the stem, even so, though I don't identify with any of the aggregates, the aroma of self still remains. And this is Asmimana, the final fetter. And he became the only monk in all the suttas to become awakened from his own Dharma talk. So,
That's a great story.
But it speaks to this kind of spacious, much more subtle, sight is a very locating thing, you're right, and that self-consciousness really crystallizes that. But even when that's gone, something else remains, which is much more subtle and hard to dispel.